So now let's see how we can also apply some settings input in the announcement section. Let's go back to announcement bar, that's liquid. So we have the code right here. Again, we need to apply some input. So if I go back to my Shopify editor, which is here, and when I click on announcements, we have no settings here. So we want to add some settings to add a color and to be displaying this text dynamically. So first let's add the color. So to do that, we need first to create the schema. So we're gonna give it a name. We're gonna call it announcement or whatever you want, and we can add either a class if you want to. So let's add a class just for learning purpose. So if I go here, I can also add a limit if I want to. So let's add a limit. I just want to have one section of announcement, not more. We can also add disable on, enable on. So let's add first the settings. What is important is the settings, and inside the settings we want to add our first settings, which is the image. So we need to have this first keyword of type, and here we're gonna give it a name of color picker, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's going to be color. We have like 3 of that. We have color background, and we have color scheme and color scheme group. We have like 4 of that. Let's go with the color for now. So ID is going to be announcement, let's say beige for background color. We're gonna give it a label, so we're gonna say background color, and we can add even a default value, and the default is going to be a black color. Okay, so as we are modifying the background color, we need to modify as well the text color. So it's going to be the same. Just let me copy this one. The type is going to be the same because this is what Shopify is looking for, but the ID must be different. So as we are doing the beige color here we need to do text color. This is just me giving a random ID name. Okay, maybe you don't like it, you can create your short version and so on. The label, again, we can also change it. It could be text color, and we want the default to be white. Okay, so if I save it, we're going to see the settings appears right here, and we can even add some extra information. So let's go back here on top of this beige announcement beige color. Let's create some information. So let's say we want the type of header, and the content is going to be, for example, let's say color settings. If I save it, is going to appear here as the information, and in this case we don't need to add ID right here. Now let's target first of all the background color. So in my section, announcement bar section, I'm using the tailwind color like this, pink 200. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete this color like this, and I'm going to use the style, or I can add a style here directly. So it's just depending on me, but I will go a bit faster here. So we're gonna say background color, and we can access the color by saying section.settings.announcement beige color for the background, and then we can say color, and the color is going to be accessed the same way. So section.settings.text color. So if I save it, now we're going to have a different background here, and we have it black, and the color is now white, and it is reflecting in the website as well. So if I come back here and I change to red, let's say, is going to change automatically, and I can even come to change the color as well to something like here to green, and it's going to change. Okay, it's terrible, but yeah, just for you to understand. So leave it to white, and let's put the color to black and save it. So now let's add the text. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go back to my schema, and this time we're gonna reduce the settings, and just after the settings we're gonna add the blocks, and the blocks takes an array, and you need to give it a name. You need to be first, because you can have like many blocks, and you need to give it a name. Give it a name first of all. So we're gonna call it announcement block, type of announcement. I'm following this documentation like this. So the heading, this is the blocks within the section, because we have also the blocks as a standalone file. which is right here. I'm not using this one yet. We're talking about the blocks inside the sections. Okay, so we give it a name, heading, and the type of the heading. So the type here is a property that represents a unique identifier for the block. We give it a name, so announcement block, and this is the identifier, announcement block here, and it takes a settings. But before the settings, let me add the limit. We want it to be 4. So this is just like what you have here. It's not different. And inside you're gonna have the object, and you can use now the settings input. So we want to add text settings. So I'm gonna say type is going to be text, and the ID is going to be, let's give it announcement text. I'm gonna give it a label of announcement, and I save it. So when I save it and I go back to my editor right here, you're gonna see we have now this add announcement block. We can even remove this this dash here, so I can do like this. So if I save it, we're gonna have add announcement block. And if I click on add, you're gonna have the announcement input here, and I can add the text right here. So let's write announcement 1, save it. Let's add another one, announcement 2. Let me copy that. Let's save it. Add another one, announcement 3, and the last one. And as you can see, we can't go more than 4 because we limit it there, and it's going to be announcement 4 right here. So when I add all this data, as you can see, nothing is changed here. It's still the same data, even though I refresh. So now we need to display this dynamic data right here. So how to do that? So as we use the block, to access the block, you need to loop over the object that you have inside the blocks array, because you can have many blocks here. We can even create like another one, for example, if you wanted to. So what I'm going to do, I will come back here. I'm going to remove, you know what, I will leave this for now because I need to double check if the section is available or not. If it is not, then we're gonna display these 4 elements like this. So what I'm gonna do, I can say if, and we need to say section the blocks, okay, because we are in the section file and we are accessing the blocks now, okay, because it is looping. We can just like go directly to settings. So what we need to do, we need to first access the blocks, and we're gonna say if section that blocks that size, because we need to check if the size is not 0. So if the size is different than 0, then we can display the correct data. I will write here else, and I'm gonna add this other code right here. So in the case it is true, what we want to do before doing this, what we want to do is to loop. We want to loop over section that blocks, and then we need now to write the case, or we can even use the if statement. What I'm going to do, I'm gonna call this one block, let's say, and we want to access block that, you know, we got many here. We got ID, we got settings, we got Shopify attribute, and we got a type. So we want the type, and we want the type if it is equal to this type that we gave here, because remember, we can have a lot of objects like this with different type and name and etc. Okay, so we need to match exactly like what we want. So when it is equal to announcement block, I can remove this else. So if it is, then I want to add this a tag inside right here and save it, and we're gonna have this 10 discount everywhere, but we are already in a good way. So what I'm going to do, I need now to replace this static data with some dynamic data. So double curly. So I'm gonna say we're accessing the block, remember. So I'm gonna say block dot settings, and that's the name of the ID that we gave, which is announcement text, is going to be right here. And if I save it, we're gonna have now announcement 1, announcement 2, announcement 3, announcement 4, which is the data that we gave to each of these input right here. When you finish to add all these settings, you need to save it. So to save it, we can use GitHub, but I'm not gonna do it for now. What you're gonna do, do is you're gonna open your other terminal, and we will do Shopify theme pull, and we're going to pull the change from the development editor. So I'm gonna press yes to confirm, and I will carefully choose development editor, and it's going to pull the data right for me. So if I go back to the header, you're gonna see some changes. We're gonna have the data that we added earlier now appear inside the header group. So we have now the settings, we have now the logos and the links from the Shopify admin, and we have the announcement bar, we have the blocks. He add the blocks for us, he give it some special ID, and we have the data here for the blocks and even for the settings. Okay, so we have like 4 blocks because we added like 4, so we have like 1, 2, 3 and 4, and as you can see, he made for us 4 blocks here automatically with their data. Perfect. And we have the block orders because also the blocks had some order. And then we have the settings. So the settings, we have the announcement beige color, which is this one. We have also the announcement beige text, which is right here. So all this information coming from the editor, the online or the development editor here, is going to be saved inside our JSON header, and even later on is going to be saved inside our index template in the case we're doing like different template also. But all of this information is going to be saved inside the config directory in the data.json.